Sorry, all you day shift people. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's 3:08 a.m. All the normal people are trying to sleep. I'm over here messing around on YouTube. But I just have to tell you, it may be 3 in the morning, but it's still Monday. What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, and stop. Full stop. Nice. Tonight, we are kicking the tires. We are kicking the tires tonight on the noise filters for the summer. The main air conditioners in the window. That's why that curtain's all scrunched over there. So here's how AC works at Jay's Geek House. I have two air conditioners. One of them was one I bought way the heck back in 2005, and I keep it as a backup or a dehumidifier type device nowadays. So basically, you can throw it in the kitchen window for those couple of days when it gets hot and then just take it out afterwards. But the one that's in for like weeks on end because it's summertime, we're getting heat waves and stuff like that, that's one whose BTUs are basically set based on the square footage of this house. So, and this thing works so incredibly well. It's been a couple of years, so I might want to vacuum out the coils and stuff at some point, but I can feel the difference. What are we at? 50% humidity and dropping, 73 and dropping. I got a oscillator fan that gets the air going in this place, so we'll turn that back on, and then we'll have the AC continue doing its thing while I wrap things up before sunrise tonight, because I have to fill out some paperwork before I call in the morning, so this can't be a big long stream. And that's why I'm here today, to just talk about something really, really basic. Twitch soundtrack. I talked about this several months ago when Twitch soundtrack first became a thing. But first, let's go through some offline subs here. David, thank you for the YouTube sub. See here. Kim, thank you for the YouTube sub. Distorted Image, thank you for the YouTube sub. Jackson, thank you for the YouTube sub. Folks are subbing while offline and stuff, doing a mix of streams and videos, and I'm glad people like what it is that I do on here. There aren't a lot of those anymore, and the algorithm kind of punishes me on YouTube because of that. But either way, this is YouTube streaming. It is, if nothing else, it is YouTube video recording in disguise. Hey, before we get into the discussion, let me just make one thing perfectly clear with you folks. For those of you wondering what the deal was with the Stuff from Streams videos that I made last time. So with the new setup for streaming, stream demonetization is not as bad of a thing as it used to be. But at the same time, there is no more save as new, except when the stream on YouTube is going through extended processing. So after the stream, if there's one segment that I want to make into its own video, I'll basically shave some time off the couple seconds where I'm verifying the internet connection, save a copy of the stream, and then go in afterwards and edit everything down to make the spin-off videos and stuff like that. But spin-off videos in the save as new function are still very much doable. They're just a bit more restricted under this new system than they were before. But the idea of taking a live stream and cutting it up through YouTube's cloud tools and seeing how robust we can make the finished product is one of my ongoing multimedia curiosities. So the Stuff from Streams playlist is not going away. It's not going to be as well, the production value will not match videos because it originally came from streams. But I'm curious how much of the gap between videos and streams I can close. And that's why I do what it is that I do with that kind of stuff. So when you see stuff from streams, you see videos after the fact, that's more of an algorithm thing, and it's also for convenience as well. If there's one part of a stream that I think could be its own video, it's going to exist as its own video, so people don't have to noodle around in a stream replay to get to it. It also makes it easier for sharing and other stuff, because the only option you have if you don't do that is queue points and things like that. And queue points can get pretty clunky when you're sharing links to people's YouTube videos with specific start points and you're relying on the browser or whatever program you're using in order to actually share that correctly. All right, let's take a look at some of what's going on here. Let's link the browser up. Oh, it linked up automatically. Nice. And let's just take the edge off of this. Let's just take the edge off of this little thingy on Twitter here. Nope, that's the overlays and stuff like that. Give me the web browser, please. Let's see. it's Avast Secure, I think, that we gotta cut down. There we go. I don't understand why these things crop the way that they crop, but let's just do some some little modifications here. And do I really need to be this big? Probably not. All right, and let's also get some music going and probably shrink the music player as well. So, let's put this down here. Check, 1, 2. Do we have at least a ½ inch of clearance? Okay, good. And let's see here. Let's also set this up. 7% just like it was during the gaming stream last night, which I will also be activating after this one's done. So, when Twitch Soundtrack launched, I looked at the shortcomings of Twitch Soundtrack from the perspective of online media. So, I wasn't thinking about the gotcha that has just landed Twitch Soundtrack in the news because there's a Twitch streamer. There's actually a Twitch streamer who got a copyright strike on Twitch because he was while using Twitch Soundtrack. Now, I've known for quite some time that Twitch Soundtrack is heavily inferior to the YouTube audio library. I know that that's been a thing for quite some time. I don't think that has to be that small. Oh well. So, shortcomings of Twitch Soundtrack. A couple of months ago, I looked at the online media side of it all. Twitch Soundtrack is Twitch's answer to the YouTube audio library, reflects the differences between Google and Amazon. Twitch Soundtrack uses marry-up technology similar to the Amazon Watch Parties, but it has the unintended consequences of reinforcing VODs, a secondary experience, versus live content on Twitch. What's one of the problems with Twitch? It's all about the live stuff. In terms of, they have what they need to be a competing video platform versus YouTube and Facebook. They don't pursue it. So it's kind of like, you know, having a car that can like do drag racing and then just putting around in it like it's a 4-cylinder. It's just my car to go to the store and get a loaf of bread and blah, blah, blah. So, a couple of months ago, I talked about Twitch Soundtrack from the perspective of online media, but I knew the gotcha was in there. So the reason why Twitch Soundtrack wasn't as good as the YouTube audio library is because of the little gotcha lurking in the terms of service. And here's the problem with that. Twitch Soundtrack's music is only licensed for live. It is not licensed for after the fact. So it's right there in the license agreement, and it's part of the setup when you go to set this program up as well. You have to use a special audio channel with a Twitch stream in order for the audio to not make it into the VOD, because the music is only licensed for live. It's not licensed for after the fact. So it already sounds too complicated, and if you think it's too complicated, it is. Versus something like Stream Beats, Pretzel Rocks, Epidemic Sound, the YouTube audio library. If you think that this is a half-cooked, not as good alternative to those music for content creators services that you see elsewhere, you would be right. It is overly complicated. It is overly complicated, and most importantly, those extra technical steps set you up for possible problems if something screws those settings up later on down the line. Now, I've mostly focused on the streamer who's been saying stuff, and I've focused on Zach Bussey's response to this. But here's the problem. This can happen to anybody. And what nobody's talking about here is the unfortunate reality that, yeah, you can set up Twitch Soundtrack correctly. What if an OBS update screws it up? What if something else screws it up? I'm certainly no stranger to things getting screwed up in my OBS. I'll get an update or something, or I'll plug in a new audio device, and now I'll have to go set all my audio sources again, or otherwise there'll be no sound, because they'll go back to the default. And so they'll go back to being a default and whatnot, and I won't get any sound out of anything. I have to explicitly declare that the Yeti Nano microphone is coming from this mic. The Yeti Nano audio is the audio from this mic. You also have the webcam. I had to set up for the Zoomy mic. I also have a phone sound I can create via the Bluetooth speakers. But every so often I have to verify that there are levels when I start streaming, because if I do too much with, say, a Bluetooth, where is that? Where's the Boston speaker? I do too much with a Bluetooth speaker or something like that, I run the risk of things getting screwed up in OBS and having to go redeclare all of my sound sources to make sure they're all pointing towards the right things. A little OBS problem. But what if this affects your Twitch soundtrack setup? And now you're sending Twitch soundtrack audio on the wrong channel. What if something somehow screws up your Twitch soundtrack setup? You are now sending audio on the wrong channel, which goes into the VODs and gives crawler systems and other rights enforcement stuff that people are going after Twitch with a way to copyright strike your channel. Now, let's not forget Twitch's fundamental problems with copyright strikes. They're permanent, like YouTube's used to be. There is no work-off period or good behavior period or something like that. So, and it's also a situation, there's also the problems on Twitch where there is no answer to Content ID. People have been asking for it, they've brought it up from time to time, and they're just, no, it's one of those things that keeps getting glossed over. So Twitch remains in a state that is basically a more primitive YouTube that some of us old school YouTubers might know from years ago and years gone by when copyright was strikes only and there were tons of false positives. But Twitch seems to be absolutely adamant. Twitch seems to be absolutely adamant about doubling down on focusing on things like emotes or public current events like Pride Month or other stuff like that, instead of stuff that will actually fix long-running problems with the platform that make it worse than its competition. Now, keep in mind, Twitch is in a perfect position to ride this inertia because they're the biggest streaming platform. But just because something's popular doesn't mean it's right. It's crazy to see all these, Twitch fanboys and whatnot that are going on about, oh yeah, but there's Twitch culture, and they'll come up with they'll just basically spoon-feed Twitch excuses for not improving their platform. And it's just wrong. I mean, oh, okay, so animated emotes like Peepo Popcorn or Pepe Laugh Tea Time are why you prefer Twitch over YouTube. That is weak. Absolutely weak. So you're really going to work on you're going to deal with a platform that can't even give you the support as a creator that you need to establish a presence unless people like your live streams, because that's all that matters on Twitch. So you're going to put up with all the shortcomings of a platform that is much smaller than YouTube, much smaller than even TikTok, been looking at some of those numbers lately, and is way more niche. And their attempts to spread out and become more general purpose over the last couple of years have pretty much failed. I mean, look at what happened with the pools and hot tubs category. The category system in general kind of fragments things a lot. So you can poke around and play the game with the categories and stuff, but you have to hope that people watching on Twitch are doing the same thing. But odds are, people find their couple of streamers they want to watch, and then that's it. They're completely closed-minded to checking out new people because they don't need to. And that's not a Twitch problem specifically, it's also a problem with streaming in general. Well, let's take a look at some of these responses to Zach Bussey and whatnot. Well, to get the name of this streamer, the streamer that had these problems, Kevin Martin, poker streamer, not a small streamer either. Guy's got about 1,500, I checked his Sully Gnome. Guy's got about 1,500 concurrents on Twitch, that's pretty decent. And yet he has 2 copyright strikes, and he got the terse email saying a 3rd strike will get his channel terminated. So for those of you folks wondering about channel size versus discipline, there's your answer on that. Guy with, let me just look it up on Sully Gnome. We're not going to show any of his stuff on the screen, by the way, in case he snaps or something and he goes after people that are talking about his situation. He has a Dexerto article. Darn keyboard. He has a Dexerto article about how he got a copyright strike for using Twitch soundtrack. Let's see here. 1,200 average viewers on Sully Gnome. SullyGnome.com. Look for a channel, Kevin Martin. So, yep. Exclusively a poker streamer. Now, to get his perspective on things, I actually took a look at his online media presence. He's basically a Twitch guy. He does have a YouTube channel, but he made a couple of videos like 10 years ago with like no effort whatsoever, no production value at all, just ran the camera and like made like a handful of videos. And then suddenly in 2015, you start seeing his YouTube channel as something related to, is my Discord running? I've had a lot of problems with, no, it isn't. I've had lots of problems with Discord not running correctly, so let's just fire that up. Oh, I never even updated it on here. I hope it doesn't screw up the stream. I don't know what it is. Just all of a sudden, Discord will not start automatically when I log onto the computer, even when I have it checked off. Who knows? Oh, look, now there's 10 more updates. Even out, it said there was only one update earlier. Yeah. Does it auto-detect stream? Welcome back. Oh, I'm not even logged in. Yeah, okay. Bye, Discord. Discord. We'll use the QR code to log in later. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing with this Twitch soundtrack thing. I knew it was going to be a problem. And what this represents is a lot of things that are wrong with Twitch, as well as a lot of things that are wrong with how Twitch handles their audience. So what is Twitch's audience? We've talked about this a couple of times. Twitch skews young. Twitch skews young. Let's see, we go to see Zach Bussy's... No, actually, I can go to my own thing for this one. Twitch skews young, and the numbers keep getting younger. There are more teenagers now watching Twitch. So, you have a younger audience. They just want to... A lot of them just want to stream video games or watch people playing video games. I know young people can handle technology. But the thing is, the bottom line is, when you have younger people in content creation and online media, you're talking about people that aren't as experienced. So, you're talking about people that aren't as experienced, and in the case of a streaming platform like Twitch, you also have a situation on your hands where Twitch, being a streaming platform, is going to attract people who want to be streamers. Duh. And what that entails is Twitch is going to attract people whose version of content creation is streaming. There are streamers out there, and I've talked with some of them, who will not give up streaming to have more of a mix of streams, videos, and short form stuff. And the reason why they won't give up streaming is because they don't want to mess with video editors. I've even seen some pretty big streamers complain to their chat or their audience that they don't want to be they want to be streamers because they don't want to mess with video editors. And so you'll see some of the big streamers, they'll hire somebody to do all their YouTube videos for them because they don't want to mess with the video editor. So with Twitch, that's your audience. You have younger people who aren't as experienced as content creators, and then you have people who may want to stream because they don't want to do anything with any video editors. They don't want to make videos. So with those two demographics in mind, people with less experience and an aversion to things getting too technical, like using a video editor, why would you want to have the most technical form of music service, in-platform music service out of everybody? I'm using Streambeats Synthwave, which is Harris Heller's project. There actually is a downloadable perpetuity license that I can get, which is a legal document. So even if somebody does a hostile takeover of Streambeats to try and copyright strike everybody, I have a license to actually include in the counter notification if someone tried to give me a strike for this stuff. So that's a pretty good setup. I particularly like that there's legalese available just like that I can keep handy in case there's problems. But then you have things like Monster Cat Gold, Epidemic Sound, and on YouTube, the YouTube Audio Library. So for you Twitch streamers out there, and I know they exist, people who are primarily involved on Twitch, primarily into streaming, don't know a lot about YouTube, maybe you have a YouTube channel and you use it as a means to an end. So you'll put like VODs on YouTube or clips on YouTube or something to try and direct some traffic back to your streams. Here's the thing. On YouTube, the YouTube Audio Library is an internal music library where YouTube contracted the artist to make the tunes. The tunes are YouTube's property. So even if it's an indie artist, what they make specifically for the YTAL is Google stuff. It's not even their own stuff. And so it is a Google soundtrack essentially for YouTube. You can use it anywhere on the platform. You might run into issues if you take your videos off of the platform and repost them somewhere else. But in terms of the YTAL, there are no hidden gotchas, and most importantly, you don't have this thing where the platform's music service is made for live but not for after the fact in your mics, which is what happened to this guy. Sounds like he screwed up somehow. Either he screwed up the setup, music was on the wrong channel and it wound up in the VODs, and then that was something that the crawler system picked up and issued a DMCA for. I hate to break it to you, but I saw this coming. I didn't want to admit it. I talked about Twitch soundtrack from an online media perspective, but I knew this gotcha was there, and I was just hoping it wouldn't happen, but somebody found a way to make it happen. So, let me see here. So ask yourself this question. If you have to choose between something like Twitch soundtrack, where there's little gotchas, you need to make sure that your setup is not only set up correctly to put the music on the don't go to the VOD audio channel, you have to make sure that it keeps working and that nothing later on screws that up, or you might end up with copyright strikes. You can worry about those technical gotchas, or you can use something like Stream Beats, where there are no technical gotchas or licensing gotchas. Just boom, it's here, use it in your stuff. The end. Or on YouTube, the YTAL. Why would you in any way, shape, or form want to prefer Twitch's product over what the competitors have to offer? If you have to... So, okay, Twitch soundtrack, you worry about gotchas. Or you use any number of competitors, including the free ones, where there are no gotchas. Pretty easy decision. And so that's the thing. Twitch, by continuing to not make something better than Twitch soundtrack, just shows that they're not really putting enough effort into fixing their DMCA problem in this area, and also they're just out of touch with their audience. You got somebody, they want to stream Fortnite or something, that's the sum total of their content creation, is they casually stream Fortnite with their friends or something like that. They're not going to care about tinkering with OBS to make sure that Twitch soundtrack is still set up correctly. They don't want that. They just want to be able to do stuff. And then you have the people who maybe they know how to do all this. They're accomplished streamers and whatnot, like this guy who got the copyright strike, over 1,000 concurrents, Twitch partner. Streamers don't want to be constantly having to look over their shoulder. They want to just make stuff. We just got done having a little discussion that wound up in stuff from streams, by the way, about that part of what I was talking about the other night with YouTube, or with streamers' mental health versus streamers' physical health, and how people talk about streamers' mental health, but where's the emphasis on streamers' physical health if they're tanking their health by turning streaming into a sit-down job with longer hours than some corporate jobs out there? So you have a situation here where streamers just want to stream. They want to barrel away. They want to stream. Many streamers, many big streamers will hire editors to do all the other stuff so they can keep on streaming. It really is a time sucker. Streaming is a real time sucker, and it's very inflexible. You're live, you're tied to time slots, all the weaknesses of streaming are in play versus videos and short form stuff, like TikTok. You have all of this in play. Streaming is incredibly demanding. You're not going to want to keep having to look over your shoulder to make sure your Twitch soundtrack is set up correctly. So, in October of last year, I looked at how Twitch soundtrack fit in the grand scheme of online media, but I knew this gotcha was lurking out there. I was just hoping that somebody wouldn't find a way to make it happen, and well, here we are. Let's look at some of these tweets. With no warning, my Twitch account has been threatened with termination for using a song product Twitch gave to streamers and advertised as safe. Yeah, didn't read the fine print. But that's really the thing. Like the description of this stream would indicate, when I first heard about Twitch Soundtrack, I thought that it was a Twitch competitor to the YouTube audio library. It's not. The licensing isn't there, and it's only for live, which creates the awkward situation where if you are using it correctly, your VODs are going to have no music. So if you're dancing to some track or something, you're playing some EDM or something through this tool, everybody watching the VOD after the fact is going to see you dancing to nothing. So it's just weird. But we knew this would happen. Why couldn't Twitch get the licenses for if it's on Twitch, you can use this music? Simple. Why does it have to be... Why do there have to be these gotchas? There can't be any special hoop jumping. It just needs to work. Otherwise, it is an absolutely weak way of competing with something like the YTAL, or what I've been hearing about Facebook chasing after music licenses for their streamers. It's ridiculous. Responded to Kevin, I responded to Zach, and Zach actually went and made a meme about it. So what would I do if I was this guy? If I was this poker streamer, I'd actually leave Twitch right now. I'd blank my channel and leave. 2 copyright strikes. The big problem with getting banned on Twitch is the banned streamer rule. If he goes to a 3rd strike, the channel gets terminated, he's banned for copyright infringement. He's now considered a banned streamer and subject to the banned streamer rule, where if he has any friends on Twitch, they can't stream with him and they're required to block him out of the broadcast. And that's one of the things that I'm surprised more people aren't calling Twitch out on. Because you can make an honest mistake or whatever, maybe you don't know anything about copyright or something, and you get banned, and now all your friends in the streaming world have to ignore you. They have to persona non grata you because you're a banned streamer. What I would do if I was him, I'd walk away. He has a YouTube channel. It's primarily stream highlights and stuff, and he doesn't even advertise it on his Twitch channel, oddly enough. He doesn't even advertise it, which tells me he's a Twitch guy. YouTube is just a means to an end. The platform's not given the respect on its own merits that it deserves. It's just, boom. You know, something I've come to expect from Twitch streamers. But Twitch, sadly, is the home of these Twitch streamers that get 2 strikes and are inches from getting banned, and they'll sign partner deals and stuff. And they'll be like, yeah, I love Twitch. Twitch is my home, even though I'm inches from getting permabanned. Spare me. Look, how much more does Twitch have to screw things up before people start saying the emperor has no clothes? How much more does Twitch have to screw up? I mean, I was looking at, you know, copyright and DMCA stuff that I've chimed in on. I found something in 2014 that I was cynical about. 2014. So even the crap that happened last year was nothing new. So, yeah, this guy, he just leave. Go stream on YouTube. He already has, you know, a YouTube channel. Just make a playlist for streams and then start streaming there. Come on over. Might as well blank his channel and walk away from all of this, because that's the only way that someone in his position is not going to have to deal with the banned streamer rule. The banned streamer rule on Twitch should drive talent away from Twitch. It doesn't, though, because people don't think these things through. They don't think about the unintended consequences or some of the other stuff that happens. No, Twitch should be losing content because of some of their unique policies, like the banned streamer rule. Why they don't? It reflects on the streamers. They should see this and call it out for what it is. No more games, no more excuses, no more kissing Twitch's ass. Call it for what it is. So let's see here. Let's look at some of the things Zach said about it. Created a meme to address this ridiculous narrative that is Twitch's fault, that Kevin Martin doesn't read instructions. This is the worst version of me. It's annoying. People trust false information. I need a shower. I don't like dunking on creators, da-da-da. When you get information that corrects the record, you should probably delete the falsehood so more people aren't misinformed. Excuse me? Excuse me? This is Twitch we're talking about. This should not surprise anybody. You got younger people without as much experience with online media, and you have people that will make up excuses for Twitch because they can't get away from how much they've been hooked by all of this. This Twitch soundtrack thing shouldn't surprise anybody. Well, here we are. I guess the question we got to ask ourselves is now what? See, let's look at some of Zach's responses to this. Can soundtrack be better? Yes. Has Twitch's response to DMCA been terrible? Yes. Those aren't up for debate. We shouldn't perpetuate false information. We know the information is false, misleading, or an outright lies. Embarrassing day. Those that are attempting to spread real information, I see it and I appreciate you. If I see more stupidity, I'm just blocking. They're beyond repair at this point. You're gonna get that from Twitch, Zach. You're gonna get that, especially as the platform keeps skewing younger and younger. There are more teenagers in the audience than there were 6 months ago, according to their own numbers that they advertise with. There is just no reason, really, to expect this niche platform. People need to stop pretending that this niche gaming platform is in any way like Facebook, YouTube, or even TikTok in terms of size. There's reasons why those other platforms are doing their thing at that size. There's reasons why those other platforms are showing up in reports for the biggest social media platforms out there, and this isn't. You know, there's all kinds of reasons for this sort of thing. Let me just check something here. Thought so. Get rid of this guy. Yeah, I thought so. Right. Saw the issue and immediately backed out. It's so clear he didn't understand how to use it. We have a problem in the Twitch community where we enjoy hating Twitch so much, even when somebody's clearly... Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, this stuff was... This Twitch soundtrack thing, when did this come out? Months ago? This is something that should have been dealt with months ago. And now we have a situation where somebody finally set it up wrong. Somebody finally set it up wrong. And here we are. What's the point of the Twitch music tool if you could set any music to an audio track doesn't record to the VOD? Yeah, well, there's crawler systems that are going after with live DMCAs and stuff. Yeah. Can't say I'm surprised, but I can't say I was surprised, but oh, what's this going on? Who's this? We got people locking Twitters now because they were on the wrong side of all of this. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. All right. Well, I think this is basically everything. This is all we need to really say about this matter. I knew it was coming. I just was hoping it wouldn't happen, and now here we are. Poker streamer either sets this up wrong. Poker streamer either sets this up wrong, or they have their setup get screwed up. Music goes onto the wrong track, exposes them to a DMCA. They get 2 copyright strikes, threatened with termination. Meanwhile, on YouTube, you have the YTAL. Use it in your stuff. The end. Well, this is why I'll persistently keep doing stuff on YouTube then. Game over. Other than some ESO stuff on Twitch, I just can't find any reason to stream there. Not with the structure of the platform, not with this or that, or even with the weaknesses of streaming versus making videos. Something I've been thinking about a lot lately as I've gotten back into tech videos. There's going to be more of them too. Definitely more tech videos than streams. But yeah, here we are. Hopefully Zach Bussey doesn't get all upset about, you know, this kind of stuff, because there'll probably be more of it at some point. That's all I have to say to that. I often have a saying that technology plus workarounds equals failure. But in this case, Twitch soundtrack plus technical gotchas equals rubbish. This program for music in Twitch streams has had problems from the beginning, and it has been underwhelming from the beginning. It's really too bad that somebody had to take it that seriously. But imagine the world where Twitch did release something that was worth taking seriously. Imagine if Twitch did have a proper competitor to the YTAL. Wouldn't that be nice? Then we might be able to say all kinds of nice things. But the thing is, there's really two kinds of people on Twitch these days. There's the people caught up in the nonsense, in all the marketing, and then there's the people who aren't. I'm in the second group. You know, you can tell me Twitch affiliate is somehow like YouTube partner, but that's false. You know, I mean, you just compare the structures of everything and also compare the strengths and weaknesses of Twitch versus YouTube. Twitch is near total emphasis on live, no chance to really grow anything in terms of after the fact stuff. They have upload support for affiliates and up. They have upload support, but where is any kind of support for making videos on Twitch? I tried it a couple of years ago, but it's all but deprecated at this point. Why is there even an upload feature? Either way, can't say I'm surprised, because I'm not. I was just hoping this wouldn't happen. But yeah, all right, well, is there going to be some kind of announcement? Oh yeah, Twitch soundtrack, we're going to try and improve it. We'll see. I don't think there will be, though. We'll stick with YouTube, the YTAL, and Stream Beats. That'll be good enough. Either way, I'll peruse Twitter and see if anybody else has any silly responses to this whole situation. But remember, folks, this is not a small streamer who got, you know, so you can say, Twitch doesn't care about small streamers. This is a Twitch partner with over 1,000 concurrents. So, very, not an insignificant streamer at all. And then this is how you get treated. Yeah, he's wrong about the whole thing because, oh, I use Twitch's official soundtrack when it's in the TOS and it's in the setup, and the setup actually lets you set it up correctly, but why worry about any of that when you can skip it? Yeah, why worry about any of that when you can skip it? I just can't believe that people give Twitch the benefit of the doubt as much as they do. And then stuff like this happens and there's actually an argument about it. You actually have to argue that somebody used an inferior tool with a crappy licensing setup, you know, and they didn't use it right and their channel got burned as a result of it. Why put up with any of that stuff? You shouldn't. People should, you know, demand more respect with this type of stuff. Same thing too with where you go. Now, don't work someplace that doesn't respect you. Don't be involved in a relationship where someone doesn't respect you. We talk about all these self-help type things of, you know, being civil to one another, being nice to one another, da-da-da-da. And then people give platforms free passes. I don't know. It'll give me something to think about anyways. Don't want to do too many of these discussion streams. I'd rather be doing stuff than talking about stuff. This might be one of the last of these that I do for a while. I'd rather be doing stuff like tech videos or even behind the scenes streams. Remember when this series was supposed to be about me working on stuff? I mean, I have a socials bar that's been out of date for weeks now. I want to get rid of the Instagram reference, put in TikTok. So plenty of better things I could be doing, but this is just the sort of thing that I had to chime in on. Either way, 40 minutes, short for a stream. It's basically an extra long video, but that's kind of what these things are. They're YouTube videos in disguise. All right. We got to get some paperwork done, and then we'll, you know, get the AC fine-tuned and get going on some of the other stuff. Just got the new camera working. I don't want to spend the second half of 2021 progressing at a snail's pace on this channel like the first half has. There's plenty of good reasons for that I'm not talking about on stream or in videos. Maybe at some point I'll talk about what happened, but for now, let's just keep on doing whatever we can do when we can do stuff. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.